Welcome back, guys. We are the Binge Warmers. I'm Steven.
I'm Will.
Today we're going to be talking about comet movies, end of the world, natural disasters. We've got about 2 videos. We may do more, judging on reactions and stuff. Today we're going to be talking about comet movies. We're going to compare and contrast a few of them. On today's docket, it's going to be Armageddon. We're going to do Don't Look Up and Greenland. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Leave in the comments what's your favorite natural disaster movie. The next video segment will be global warming. So we've got
next week, I guess.
We'll plan to have these on a Wednesday and Wednesday segment just so they're fresh in people's minds.
Come back next week if you like natural disaster films. We'll have global warming. But today, we're getting into meteors.
Yes, comets crashing down into the Earth.
Them things that killed them dinosaurs.
Yep. Are they going to kill us? Do we live? Do we have to brace for impact?
Only one of these movies. Well, no, that's not true. Only one of the movies, everyone dies. But it's sort of like it's sort of a gradient.
I think there is a gradient of Armageddon is almost everyone survives. And then you've got Greenland where some people survive in bunkers. And then you've got Don't Look Up where it's complete annihilation.
Well, no one survives except for a select few.
Who then end up dying to the Brontorocks. I love that bit. They're like, you're going to get eaten by a Brontorok.
We don't know what it is.
Ah. My question was, he's supposed to be Elon Musk or was he supposed to be Tim Cook from Apple?
I think a mixture. Because the president was sort of a mixture of Hillary and Donald, I felt.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was a lot of just jumbled.
She had the power suits.
Yeah, definitely the pantsuits.
Yeah.
I guess we're talking about. You want to just start with Don't Look Up since we're.
Yeah, we can take. It took an interesting one. Don't Look Up it came out in 2021 on Netflix. So if you want to watch it, it's there on Netflix. Really good watch. It's star-studded out, jam-packed with celebrities. We've got the likes of Jennifer Lawrence,
Leonardo DiCaprio, Cate Blanchett, Timothy Chalamet, Mark Rylance, Meryl Streep,
Jonah Hill,
Ariana Grande, Kid Cudi. The list goes on and on and on and on and on.
Just jam-packed. And it's a satire take. We think it kind of it's supposed to mimic COVID or global warming kind of thing of just turning something that shouldn't be political into a political movement.
Also just people not trusting science and not thinking about it.
Or the government.
Yeah.
People turning on each other.
Well, even it shows how ineffective the government can be sometimes too.
Oh my God, yes.
This movie, I watched a little bit with Adam McKay, the director, who is famous for Step Brothers and Talladega Nights and
he made this movie? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
He's all these Will Ferrell movies. I don't know where Will Ferrell is. Normally Will Ferrell cares about the political kind of activism stuff. He's a comedian, but he also will do
it's interesting he wasn't in this movie.
I know, at least a cameo. Maybe he was busy with something else or something.
Yeah, could be.
But Adam McKay and Will Ferrell they're like a power couple.
Yeah.
But in this movie, Adam McKay said he wrote it and he said he was trying to write something about climate change, just something to kind of get the word out there more.
Yeah.
People talk about it, but it's nothing. Obviously, if you watch the news, it's not the top.
No, it's polarizing. It's political. You think something as simple as, "Hey, we need to take care of the planet," wouldn't be so complicated, but people want different things out of it. They want to gain power from different things.
It also shows everything's a political issue.
Yes.
Everything can be made political. But he wrote it about
be so misinformed, even though they're but no matter what side they're on, which is insane.
And that's a big part of the film as well. But he wrote it to be this is a climate change thing, and we need to, he wrote this crazy script, and then COVID happened after.
Yeah, and it was almost too close to home with that.
He's I didn't expect people to actually not trust the science on COVID.
Yeah.
I didn't expect people would be rioting because they just didn't believe it was real.
Yeah,
and so I'm guessing they leaned into that a little bit because I know they filmed this during COVID.
Yeah. He definitely wanted climate, but then he was there's no way we can't draw parallels with this and COVID.
Yeah, and I think it's sort of up to your interpretation as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's the beautiful thing about movies. People don't think some people don't. I think the creators of the King Kong movie don't think it's about the slave trade.
Yeah.
But everyone, if you go to film class or something art school, they're yeah, this is a movie about the slave trade.
The one with Jack Black in it. Or just King Kong in general?
Yeah, the early one.
Wow.
But I mean, it's the same story. So.
Wow, I never actually thought about that. I just thought Big Monkey.
Big Monkey. Well, that's what the creators were thinking. Apparently.
Big monkey fight dinosaur. Jack Black does a weird monologue at the end.
Jack Black runs in front of a green screen at part of it.
It was I who killed the beast.
I'm Beauty. I killed the beast. Yow!
But it was really good. It's got it's got some great humor.
Cast and, it's tonally kind of, I wouldn't say inconsistent. It's tonally, it's very specific, the tone.
Yes.
It's funny, but it's like dark comedy.
Yeah.
And it's almost like dark, unhopeful comedy.
Oh, for sure.
And there's a lot of like social media kind of stuff in here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like Gen Z humor, maybe.
Yeah, like when they're doing when they're sending Ron Perlman up to destroy the comet.
Yeah.
They're doing the comet challenge where they're shooting themselves in the face with fireworks.
And that might have been tacked on afterwards because of like the Tide Pod challenge or whatever the hell. Or the Bird Box challenge. There was a bunch of challenges.
It was. It's definitely. I would say a little too on the nose in some points, but at the same time, the message gets across that people can just be flat out idiots and refuse to listen.
I think a couple things that were too far, like too on the nose, like Meryl Streep wears a don't look up hat at one point. And I'm like, that's the MAGA hat.
Or you've got Chris Evans. He's got I'm looking up and I'm looking down. You know,
I think the way that poster looked, it looked like it was directly making fun of Armageddon.
Yeah, I did. It went through or Deep Impact. I thought I got Deep Impact guys, but. It was so funny to see that because you do see people that are just...
Well, I love it. It's like, we just wanted to make a popcorn movie that people could enjoy.
Yeah.
It's definitely the vibe from Armageddon, too.
It is, which we will be discussing that.
Yes.
Oh, what a great movie that was, too.
But yeah, I think the way he structured this film, he was like, I need someone funny and also like dramatic, so he went with Jennifer Lawrence. I think Leonardo DiCaprio...
he nailed the Michigan accent, too.
Oh, yeah, he did pretty good. I liked it. He was... Because he's handsome in general, and people think he's handsome, but like... That's the only thing that people care about in this movie.
Yeah.
He's a scientist that's telling people the world's going to explode. We got to stop this comet or meteor.
Oh my God, you're so sexy.
An AILF or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he kind of cheats on his wife. He's sort of the part of it that gets wrapped up in the system. Like he gets too focused up on like people are talking to him on social media.
He's a celebrity.
He's a celebrity's a big part of it in this. And then Jennifer Lawrence is the more like, more realistic climate activist who's just freaking out and doesn't like.
She's like, I cry 5 times a day now. Because in 6 months I'll be dead. She goes, let me meet your mom in 7 months. How about that? He goes, that's so weirdly specific. What does that mean?
And then the moment she freaked out on TV, he wrote an article. He was like, I actually slept with that lady who had an outburst on TV.
Oh man, because it's all about clicks. You notice at the end of that news report, they're like, so you're trending down, but Ariana Grande's character, she's trending up after she married the guy they broke up with, and I'm just like, the world is ending, and you're talking about what's trending right now.
Yeah, it gave me a lot of The Boys. I know The Boys came out.
It
came out before this, right?
Yeah, it definitely did. I think Boys was 2020, 2019.
I think it was 2019, but it didn't matter. That's the kind of the mirror into real life is like people care more about the image and the brand than like everything else.
Especially the amount of interaction their stuff is getting.
Yeah. That's pretty much.
Yeah, they just end up all dying. Yeah. And then you see all the rich elites. It's so funny. My girlfriend had watched this movie the first time last night with me when I was rewatching it to catch up. And at the end, when all the rich people had gotten out, if y'all haven't seen the movie.
We're doing spoilers.
We'll just have the banner.
Spoilers.
But the rich elite get on a ship and they leave. And so they land on this planet 22,000 years later. I looked at my girlfriend. I said, Earth's probably way better now. Why didn't they just hover over planet Earth and then just land back
Because I guess the ship was programmed to find a different planet that was suitable
but they should have just stayed where they knew that they could come back to, you know?
Well, if a meteor hit the first time, how many more meteors are coming?
Well, it was like one meteor hit, and then 10,000 years later, another meteor hit. So, anyway, just weird things. But the cryo chambers open up, and on the front of each cryo chamber is like I'm just going to use our brands, but it's like Exxon Mobil oil rig person, lobbyist number 2 kind of person, and there's just all these big rich elite people, like all old too. So it's like, how are you gonna?
That was the thing I
repopulate.
Like they were like there was not really very many young people. Yeah. I was thinking that too.
And they also can't rebuild, so they've got maybe a week. If the wildlife wasn't as bad as it was, you know, they've got a week. They can't survive. Yeah, there's a very poorly thought out plan.
Well, you know, I think it was kind of a rush job anyway.
Yeah,
and the guy that they get to, so they go with a plan that's like the NASA has or whatever, and they go with it just because it'll make the president look better in the polls.
Yeah.
And then after, like, they turn that around, and then they're going to go with this cell phone guys company plan.
And that's where you get the political too, because Jennifer Lawrence's dad's like, we don't want to talk politics here. We know the asteroid's going to create a lot of jobs. And
yeah, we're of the opinion that the asteroid will bring meaningful jobs.
Yeah, so we don't want to talk politics, and it's like. Because they said it's great. It's like all that money in the world won't help if we're all dead.
The whole world. It shows like the greed that's sort of where the climate change stuff comes back in. It's like the greed of the companies and the profit margins are more important than like the health of the earth or like the sustainability of Earth.
So the Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, just rich, big wig guy.
His performance is very much Musk, but he's doing like he has like a cell phone company.
Yeah, and it gives off Tim Cook vibes to me a little bit. Tim Cook's a creepy looking.
Sort of the Zuckerberg too, because he's just like he doesn't ever look anyone in the eye, and he's always kind of awkward.
He's soft spoken and stuff, but he's just like a zillionaire. He's like the third richest person ever.
And the president values his opinion over. I think just because he's rich and he pays her a ton of money.
Yeah, it's a mega donor.
Jonah Hill's like, he's a platinum donor, so he gets access. He
do whatever he wants.
He basically runs the country.
He wants to stay in the White House. He can stay in the White House. It's insane, but it's just some of those things were just a little on the nose. We know stuff like that happens, but to that level, there's no way.
Like at first watching it and being like, this is too much. Like this is a little bit too focused on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But rewatching it now, I'm like, oh, there's a lot more to it. Like it's more humanity based, and there's a lot of funny jokes. And stuff. It's not just all bleak and out.
It's a great film. We do recommend it. Just know what you're getting into.
Don't watch it with your conservative parents
or
conservative people.
Yeah, or liberal, because I think either side would start an argument with this kind of movie.
Honestly, this is a movie intended to kind of this is the narrative persuasion
to stoke
thing,
the flames,
right?
But it's like if you're quick to anger or you think this is attacking your beliefs, don't. It's not attacking your beliefs. It's attacking just.
It's just trying to make you see like what. It's trying to make you see the point of view it's coming from. I guess like, and it's not like shoving it down your throat. Like you need to quit driving cars, and you need to do all this. You need to give away your plastic straw. I don't know, stuff like that. It's more just like here's what will happen if here's a funny example of what could happen if something
people,
like that.
Yeah, and if people just valued power and money over saving the world they're living in.
And that's a lot of time why people make movies like that anyway. Like they just try to get their point across in a kind of a funny way.
Yeah. So it's about political. It's a kind of politically charged movie about a comet, but it's still a comet movie nonetheless, and it was really cool to watch.
And the comet itself here, because I guess we'll talk about the comets and all of them.
Yeah.
Huge comet. There's no like pieces breaking off or anything.
No,
it's just one
massive.
Solid like. They said it was like Mount Everest.
The size of Mount Everest.
So it's a big
6
boy.
to 9 kilometers.
And it took like they had like 6 months. You said.
Yeah, 6 months, 24 days, something or other.
I guess I don't remember how long it was in Armageddon they had, but in Greenland it's like a couple days.
Yeah, in Greenland it was like I think it was like 3 days, but in Armageddon it was a couple weeks, I believe.
The spread of movies we got here is it's really funny.
Yeah, but each of them feels completely different, but they all have like the theme of
meteor,
big rock,
and/or asteroid. I don't know the difference.
And here comes the giant fist.
Here comes the giant fist. If there is a difference between meteors and asteroids, you can let us know in the comments.
There are. It says it in.
I know something about gas or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something about a tail.
I'm just Tyler Perry at this point. It's whatever.
Will it knock out my ex's house? Because that's what we want to do. But yeah, we would recommend Don't Look Up. Definitely a great movie. Now to pivot to a complete opposite. Let's do Armageddon.
I don't want to close my eyes.
Me and Des listened to that song afterwards. Apparently, this was a comfort movie for her back in the day. She's
really?
watched this movie like 20 times.
This movie?
I said, this is a 2.5 hour long movie. She goes, yeah, I loved it.
Dude, this movie was way too long.
I liked it.
Did you feel how long it was?
No.
I
literally had just woke up. Des was like, you going to make anything for breakfast? I said, no. And I turned on the TV. She goes, oh, you going to watch TV too? I said, no, I'm going to watch a movie. And she goes, you woke up 5 minutes ago. And I said,
what is the point? You can watch a movie anytime.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I said, she goes, what are you watching? I said, Armageddon. She was like, and like, that's the thing is like, what movie would not give me this reaction?
What am I watching? Elmo's Adventure in Gruntland.
Yeah. So I said, Armageddon. She goes, how long? I said, 2.5 hours. She goes, you just woke up. I said, I'm watching a movie. You can stay in here with me. Go away.
2 types of people, man. 2 types of people.
Oh, you just woke up? I can't watch a movie?
I can't watch a movie.
So, but no, it is a long movie. We talk about it too.
It just feels long. This is Michael Bay. It feels like a Michael Bay thing.
It is definitely a Michael Bay movie.
It's like, typical characters. They're all goofy and silly. They've all got their own little thing.
You get the rock music in the background.
And there's no time for them. But it's so crazy that it's 2.5 hours. No one gets any screen time.
Yeah.
It's all like Billy Bob Thornton or Bruce Willis or another stacked cast, by the way.
Oh yeah, super stacked cast. But you got Owen Wilson in there. He does nothing.
He could have been
chased
merged
on a horse.
Yeah, dude. He could. He could have been merged with Steve Buscemi's character easy. Yeah. As an editor, I'm sitting here thinking any one of his important lines could have went to Steve Buscemi's.
I think they just had to have, because there was one guy who died. You never even see him, but you see him get in a fight in the bar. Yeah. And that's about it. He's like the least used of them.
It's insane, but a good cast. I mean, that's the standout. Like Bruce Willis, we said, Billy Bob Thornton. Ben Affleck does a really good job.
Oh yeah, Ben Affleck was great in this movie.
Liv Tyler looking incredible as always.
Yeah,
like I mentioned her looks instead of how she acted.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
she's a good actress.
I mean, back then she was cast.
She's in
just
Lord of the
to
Rings.
Be,
I mean, she's
we all know her acting is phenomenal.
Will Patton, Steve Buscemi, William Fichtner,
Michael Clark Duncan. Oh yeah, William Fichtner too was great.
I got with Michael Clark Duncan. I saw him and I was
dances in his leopard print underwear.
He's like they're telling me it's like high cholesterol. He's like, is this high cholesterol?
Oh, it's something all right. Yeah. And then they take him to his psyche eval, and he's just like crying. He
starts crying.
Can you give me a hug after this?
Keith David got an amazing performance in this. He's the one who's like,
yes, dude. He plays the Arbiter in Halo.
Yeah, he's
Did
like
you not know that?
I don't play Halo.
He's gonna play Zavala now that Lance Reddick has passed.
Oh, really?
They cast him as Zavala.
Dang.
Literally before they casted him, I was like, no one can replace him. And then they said Keith David. I said, okay, that's acceptable.
I'll accept it. He's in a lot of crap. He's that guy in Princess and the Frog.
He's an agent, Cody Banks.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the leader of the CIA. He's like, why did no one tell me he couldn't talk to a girl?
So stupid, bro. Anyway, this is more. I wouldn't even say it's like character focused.
Who was what was his?
Who?
His like best friend. Who was he? Was
Will
it
Patton?
This guy? Was it Will Patton?
Probably. I thought that was.
Yes, he's in Remember the Titans. He's in that show Falling Skies.
I was thinking it was somebody else, but
I love him as an actor. I like him a lot.
He's like a divorced dad or something.
Yeah.
And this like whole
That's a salesman, honey. He's a traveling salesman.
I don't know. This movie has several funny parts.
Yeah.
I would say this is not as funny as Don't Look Up.
No, it's more of the action popcorn flick of the summer type thing.
It's Chris Evans promoting his movie type beat.
It really is. It's a feel good fun. They beat it in the end type thing.
You know, yeah, like guy accepts his daughter's boyfriend to be his son-in-law or whatever, and like that kind of felt like, you know.
Yeah, well,
he fires
they said
him
that he raised them too. He took a shotgun. He was actually shooting him.
Yeah, I don't buy that they were like, you're always my son. I think that was just like a last minute, like I'm about to die, so I gotta be okay.
They said
with
it in
this.
the beginning too. He was like, you can't kill him. You've raised him. He's like, yeah, and I'm gonna kill him.
Well, it's also a little bit weird that he raised him and then he's also raised his daughter. And
yeah,
both.
It is. Well, I mean, you look at CW's Flash. That's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, I don't like that. Don't do that. If they're raised together as brother and sister, don't make them date. Like that's weird.
It is weird.
Anyway,
no kiss.
Like that's Clueless too with Paul Rudd.
That one was weird.
It's weird.
That was weird.
Anyway, but this is like it's very sciencey, very NASA-y.
Yeah.
It felt. I don't want to.
You think Billy Bob Thornton hates his name?
I kind of hate his name. I wish his name was just Billy Thornton. Like that would be much.
Yeah,
more.
Billy Bob is just like such a weird name.
But it's very unique, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's William Robert. That's Billy Bob.
But he's a Billy Bob. He's not William Robert. He might be
William Robert Thornton.
No, anyway, he does a great job. The performances are good. I just don't love the direction style, I guess.
And there's so many, like you said, there's just so many characters. They do this whole montage of rounding up the crew.
And like that whole scene, like when they're like getting all checked out and they're like getting fitted for the students, that's the best part of the movie by far.
Oh, it is.
Because you're getting to see all these characters and this fun, dynamics and stuff. Steve Buscemi makes 2 or 3 references to how he slept with underage women.
Yeah. And when they first come to pick him up, he's like, I swear, I didn't know her age.
I know. And I was like, bro, that was a joke back in 98. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could get away with saying that.
Also, Steve Buscemi is the one sleeping with underage women.
Yeah, he's creepy looking. I don't know about it.
He gets back from the outer space and he tells that lady, I want to make so many babies with you. And I was like, that's not a good foundation for a relationship. I was literally thinking, I was like, you shouldn't be raising kids together.
His character was the only one I felt necessary because he's like the one that goes crazy in space. You know what I mean? Like he comes out.
He just stares at the vastness of space and like, none of this is worth it.
And he's got like a machine gun and he just starts shooting it on the asteroid. It's like, what are you doing, bud?
What the fuck is going on? Have you lost your mind?
If I was to cut scenes, I would cut the Russian stuff all the way out.
I love the Russian.
The Russian guy was funny, but that whole scene was like, I was sitting there, I'm like, okay, they got fuel. But like in the reality of the movie, we could have said, they've got enough fuel to get there and get back.
Yeah, they don't have to refuel.
They don't need to refuel.
That whole scene was unnecessary.
It was just
no one even died.
Well, no one died, but I think it was more like we got to separate the characters, right? Didn't some of them get?
No. They were still on the same boats they were supposed to be on.
Okay. Well, anyway, so there's no reason.
There's
no reason for that. They had the Russian guy.
30 minutes for no reason.
And add an extra character.
Yeah.
And he's great. We love him. But and honestly, just make Owen Wilson's character do all that stuff that he did.
Yeah.
Make him Russian or something.
I think they wanted a few people to die, so it felt like it had stakes.
I get that too.
But they all died in one spot, except for the guy who, the fat guy, Max.
Oh yeah, he died. He
died later.
Gas pocket or something. Yeah. Him too. It was like what? Like he has a couple lines about how he likes food and then how he's whatever, and then he's just gone for like.
Yeah.
He just comes back to drill and get kills.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it.
Don't get me wrong. I love the movie. There's a lot of holes in it.
This reminds me a lot of Independence Day too. Do you feel like that?
I love Independence Day.
I feel like the same tone exactly. Like the same problems. Like the same overabundance of characters. You know.
I don't think there were that many in the
Independence Day.
It's been a minute since I've watched it.
Okay. Well, next time you watch it, notice how many pointless characters there are.
Like,
it's like Will Smith and he has a friend, and then like, Jeff Goldblum, he has a friend. The president and like 3 of the president's friends, and then like the fighter pilot guy, and he has a couple friends.
He's
it's
got
just
family and stuff.
We could just wrap, and like it focuses a lot on like Will Smith's wife and the
son,
first lady or whatever. They meet up.
I think so.
It's just like we don't need to see all of it. Like you can give us some of this. Like I love the idea that like we're sending these oil rig guys up to the space. Like it's a blue collar thing. They're not really.
It's
meant
really
for space.
cool. It's a great
premise. Is awesome.
Yes,
and it holds together for the most part, but it is a little bit overly emotional toward the end of it. And I think they're milking it for a little bit more than it deserves.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you noticed, Liv Tyler and Ben Affleck have like 3 scenes together. Yeah. I don't think they have any chemistry in the movie. Like we're just told that they like each other.
Yeah.
We're not shown that they like each other. Yeah. He plays with animal crackers on her tummy or something.
Yeah, which
was
like, weird.
I'm like, this is like the first thing you show us. Don't show us like having sex and then they get caught. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny, like a one-off bit. Like if that, you slept with the guy's daughter, but now, I'm going to marry her and it's all this stuff.
Yeah.
The ideas kind of conflict. That's all I'm saying.
It's weird. He was playing with the things, and at first I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. And then I was like, it's a little. He kept going with it, and I was like, this is weird.
It's like when you see guys on TikTok playing like tech decks on their girls' butt
balls. Is that what you were about to say? I don't know what internet you're watching, but mine is not on their balls.
Or they'll take Legos and like put on their boobs.
Not the balls.
Not the butthole, but like the cheeks, I guess.
Yeah, but
or they'll do like little glow in the dark dinosaurs and put them on the covers. Shut up. You know what I'm talking? Like that's the vibe this gave me.
We got your example.
It's funny how many examples there are.
Yeah, it's funny. You just kept listing them.
I got more. Don't try me.
The movie was fun.
It was fun. I wouldn't say it was like it's 100%.
If you go to the movies and watch it in '98, I bet you had a blast.
It's 100% like dumb fun.
Yes.
Like I think they mentioned Star Wars a bunch. I think they're probably trying to cut in on some of that crowd. Like this is a space movie, like action space movie.
Some of the science was really cool. I love when like we talked about in one of the last videos we recorded. About like exposition and stuff. I love anything exposition. You're telling me how this asteroid came about. You're telling me where it came from. I love that.
I don't get that.
I love it, dude.
That's all you, buddy.
Give me it all.
Yeah. Anything else? I don't know.
It's not. It's memorable, but it's not at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're gonna watch like an asteroid, if you're gonna watch one of these movies, I wouldn't say this is it.
Really?
No, this is not the one you'd pick.
I guess it depends on who you are as a person, though.
If you're a dad, you're gonna want to watch Greenland. If you're a mom, you'll probably enjoy Don't Look Up.
If you're a kid, you'll love Armageddon the most. As a kid, no kid is gonna like Don't Look Up or Greenland better than Armageddon because at least they win in the end.
You know what? I think you're probably right.
I know I'm right because I'm a kid.
We're kids.
It's fun. It's just to turn your brain off, enjoy the movie.
It's the best way to say it is it's a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah,
like, it really is just.
Yeah.
Action and explosion over.
I don't know. I walked away smiling a lot more than I feel like you walked away smiling.
I was so bored like halfway through it. I'm like, okay, get on with it. I paused it to go to the bathroom. I'm like, there's still half of this movie. I hate that feeling.
I remember I accidentally pressed my remote or something and it went up and it said 1 hour and 1 minute. So I said, oh, and I looked and I'm like, 1 hour and 20 left? What?
Like they get on the asteroid, it's a whole other movie.
Yeah.
Like they could have cut this movie into 2 movies if they wanted to.
Probably. Well, it would have been better for character development and stuff.
And
too.
Box office. They probably would have gotten twice the amount of money. Anyway, Greenland.
Probably the most, it's stressful. It's stressful in a different way. It's a helpless stress.
I think I said it's like a dad movie. Like it's total like hero moment movie.
Yeah. Like the dad has to.
Well, if my kid was there, then I would. It's a Mark Wahlberg saving his kids from 9/11.
Yeah. If I was there, I would do it differently.
Yeah.
It's also the one that focuses on the comet the least.
Yeah, surprisingly.
It's really insane. You almost never see like a little bit of destruction here.
The news is more competent in this one compared to Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
In Armageddon, they don't mention the news didn't mention it until like the last half.
Yeah,
of the
they were
movie.
on a hush hush. The government, it seems new. We don't know how long. The movie. It's also the newest of them. No.
20. No, I think Don't Look Up came out in 21.
Okay.
It feels the newest for whatever reason.
Yeah.
This came out during COVID, so it did well though.
Yeah. As far
and
as
I looked it up
COVID
and it said
numbers.
there was a
second one coming
second
out.
one potentially coming, and the way it ends, hopefully, so you know, it could have a sequel.
Or it's just what do you do about the second meteor? I mean, it's a Naruto reference. So Madara drops down this massive meteor, and this guy like holds it up, and all the ninjas are like holding it up, and he's like, "Oh wow, you saved it." He goes, "But what about the second one?" And you see the same thing break through the clouds and land on it.
That's so stupid. I love that.
We'll have to look up that scene later and show it to you. But yeah. So this one,
it's more okay. So
at first they tell him it's like a few weeks is when they find it. So they don't expand on if the government knew about it before that, or if they also just saw it and said, you know what, we can't save anyone. We need to.
There's news like it'll miss the Earth narrowly.
I think that was false. Well, obviously it was false, but I think it was plugged as like they were lied to. I think the government lied.
Because what do you do? I mean, you don't want to like this is something that they talk about in Don't Look Up either. It's like you can't just tell people they're about to die in 6 months.
And also, why? So, preface: Gerard Butler is the main character. He's the dad, and he is given notification saying, "Hey, be here. You're selected for relocation and shelter for the coming thing." Why are you doing this the day of the meteor shower?
I think it was more.
Why not a week before?
I think it was more intense than they expected or something.
It could be, but also if you just do it a week before, everyone's gone, and then you lie to everyone else, you just bunker down, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
But of course, there's not a movie there, but you know, just picking at it, and you see it's supposed to land in the ocean. It doesn't. It hits Tampa, and it completely cuts Florida in half.
Yeah.
A part of it.
Like
a part
Bugs
of it.
Bunny
does.
when he takes the saw and cuts it up.
So that wasn't fun. And what's crazy too is like. This one was like, they said it was going to be like 9 miles wide. And you think, that's not really that big, you think. You know what I mean? But it does planet-wide destruction.
Right.
Which
I
is
guess
insane.
it's just like the impact of it.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's like 9 miles. They always say wide. How thick is it? You know? What's the cheeks on that thing? What's the cheeks?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the ass ratio on this bad boy?
The asteroid.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Morena Baccarani, is it? Baccarin?
Morena Baccarin is the wife.
She is very attractive.
Yes.
Does a great job.
She was in Firefly. She was in Gotham. She voiced Sagira in Destiny 2. Sagira's a ghost. Osiris's ghost. She dies.
Sad.
You
get not really too many other people. The guy from The Office, Pam's first fiance.
Yeah, he's also in Brightburn.
Darkwing Duck.
Brightburn as evil superhero's dad, adopted dad.
There's someone else I recognize too.
I didn't see the dad.
The dad, Dale.
Yeah, he played Stick in the
Scott Glenn. He does a good job.
Yeah, Scott Glenn's cool.
He looks like you're talking about. He looks old and kind of
like he looks ripped, but it's also because it looks like that's just his body. It's like there's no fat because it's all wasted away.
He's got like very big veins. I noticed. Like he's probably used to be like a power lifter or something.
Yeah, he was a muscle head.
But he does a good job. I think like this is sort of I kind of was theorizing throughout the movie. It's like sort of a metaphor for like divorce or like relationship strain.
Because the story does have them. They had relationship strain, and then the dad cheated on the wife.
Yeah.
And then they end up getting back together. But the whole movie, they're split up trying to make their way back to each other. They end up meeting at the wife's dad's house, which is
in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I guess they're in Atlanta.
Yeah,
so
they're
it's
in
like,
Georgia.
And it's like a lot of back and forth. Like one couple kidnaps the son. They bring him back to try to get on a plane. They just don't listen.
This movie is so stressful, dude.
And it's like irrational. Like all these people are acting very irrationally.
Yeah.
But that's just human nature.
Yeah, you expect it. And I remember the first time me and Des watched this, I told Des, I was like, I love it. I love disaster movies. I'm going to watch this. It's a meteor. Of course I'm going to watch it. I remember watching it with her, and I was like, I want the meteor to show up because I'm stressed out right now. Des at one point was like, what would we do? I said, nothing.
Die.
We just die, you know? Like what your face. And you see that with the neighbors. They don't get the call, and they're just like, we're just supposed to sit here in our houses.
This is a deep, dark question, but like, would you rather live or would you rather die during the situation?
Oh, live all the way.
If it's not Greenland, if it's more like
with death. So any way that I could live, I would be living.
If you're Jonah Hill at the very end of Don't Look Up and you're just by yourself and everything else is gone,
I'm alive.
So that's good enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just how I've looked at it.
I don't know. We don't have to get into it on our comedy podcast.
Yeah. It's a deep one. And that's why most of the disaster movies, they're a little corny, a little hard to believe. There's always humor.
Yeah.
There's none of that in this one. This one is straight serious. What jokes do you see in that one?
It's kind of funny how
the guy gets a hammer in his head.
I was going to say, it's kind of funny how Roy kidnaps that child.
Oh, very funny. You know, there's no humor in this at all. It's straight
It is.
Everyone is under duress at all times.
There's a little bit of he says that meteors are made of farts because they're made of gas.
That's not even funny.
Yeah, it's like a dad joke for sure.
Yes.
The guy who directed this, he did a bunch of dad hero movies like.
Oh yeah, him and Gerard Butler are like besties.
Besties.
He directed
like Angel Has Fallen. And
Olympus Has Fallen and stuff.
all that stuff.
Those movies were phenomenal. We'll have to do. I never finished the series though.
I think you're a dad, Steven. You like the dad stuff.
Oh, it's probably because I didn't have a dad.
I saw someone.
Those are my dads.
I saw someone describe Reacher as a dad action thing too, and I'm like, I can see it.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
It's definitely
dads
not.
are cool. Dads need action. Dads need their hero moment.
I've heard dads are cool. I'm not entirely sure.
My dad's not very cool.
Exactly. Leave a comment if you're a dad.
Greenland, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this is more of a personal drama. I think it holds pretty well though.
Like, it's a very good.
Like I said, there's a lot of back and forth. Like sometimes, like it'll be kind of over here. Like you'll get somewhere safe, and then there's another problem, and then the wife will get somewhere safe, and then here there's something. It
also presents you with problems that you like. Me and Des, a lot of times would be asking ourselves, what would we do in this situation?
Yeah.
Like when they're first leaving their house, a lady comes up with her kid, and she's like, "Take her, please, take her."
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, and she's like, "We can take her," and the guy's like, "No, we can't. They're just gonna leave her. They asked for us. If they see her, they're just gonna leave her, and now she's not with her mom." You know, or when they're. When the guy steals the kid, what are you gonna? Because you don't care about them, you care about getting your wife and you alive. So you're gonna steal someone else's bracelet and go try and get on this.
It was
plane.
all irrational too, because she told him exactly the truth, but for some reason he thought
it'll be different.
Yeah, I'm built different.
I'll
get my
He's
kid on that
also
plane.
a dad. He's also a dad. And then like at one point they're like, we can't take you to Greenland. The plane's full, and so he parks his truck on the runway. Yeah. Doesn't care that there's like 20 people in that plane. He says, "You get us on there, or you're not leaving either."
Well, too, because they're like, there'll be more planes tomorrow, but like
there is no tomorrow.
Yeah, there was like 3 hours until the meteor showed up or something.
So it's just
5-6 hours.
It's stressful because it puts you. It's really good at putting you in their situation and thinking, what do you do at this crossroads? You know, and there's a lot of crossroads in this. The dad or the old dad, not the dad, not Gerard Butler's character. Dale the dad. You ask him, you're like, "Dad, come with us, please," and he's like, I think in his head he's like, "I'm old. I'm going to slow them down. They need the best chance they got, and I can't be with them to give them their best chance."
It's also like a stand your ground type thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to,
I was born here. I was raised here.
My wife died here. I'll die here too.
Yeah.
But he's like, there's a horse, and he's like, someone's got to look after the horse, I guess.
To draw comparisons to this other amazing film, critically reviewed, awesome, amazing film. It's called Ice Age 2: The Meltdown.
Yeah. Famous film. Famous Oscar winner.
There's a part where they first hear the flood, and the guy's trying to dig his dad out of a hole. He's like, "Grandpa, come on. There's going to be a flood. I don't care. I'm born in this hole. I'll die in this hole." And he just stays there.
They're just from a different generation.
Yeah, he went on to win an Oscar for his performance.
And for the role of best dad in a hole.
But yeah, Grandpa's just basically, and we make that joke too. Like the mom finally got split up, but she's back with they meet up in Kentucky. She gets off a bus, like a Greyhound, and we're like, there's probably some old guy in there going, I've been driving a bus for 35 years, and I'll be damned if a meteor's going to stop that today.
Yeah. I ain't stopping this bus for nobody.
Not no meteor, nothing. I didn't even stop it when my wife died. I put her casket on the back. I loaded it up. Even charged her fee. Bus fare.
Like, I had to pay it. Our bank accounts are jointed.
Came out of my 401k.
That's okay. We abide by the rules.
But it's a good movie. It's the most stressful.
It's kind of a sad. It's a lot of sad stuff happens to Gerard and his family.
He goes through it. He gets attacked on a truck. He gets his hand burned saving somebody else.
That's the thing too. Like I feel like once he kills the guy, he feels bad that he did. So
he's like washing his hands in that sink.
He's taking the time to like save someone so he can kind of redeem himself a little bit.
Side note, guys, we both grew up a little poor. We both at different points. Yeah. They broke in. He'd break into a house and we'd be like, "Man, this is a nice house." Like when we first go into the house, we're like, "Man, these guys got money." And then you're talking about he's washing. He's got grief from killing someone. He's washing hands, and all I'm thinking about is like, man, that splashback is really good. That backsplash is
like,
real
wow. How many bedrooms you think?
Pan back. Is that granite? Is that granite right there?
Like, the cabinets could use some work, but that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, you got good bones.
Anyway, fun set of movies.
Yes.
Fun theme to do a binge series on, And
any other what is it? Honorable mentions, you've got Deep Impact.
We may if y'all give us some more Meteor movies, we may do
we'll talk about. I think compared to Armageddon, I like Deep Impact a lot more. It's a lot more serious, you know.
Have you seen Armageddon before?
Mm-mm. But Deep Impact's got Morgan Freeman.
That's fair.
I don't know what else you.
It's weird. That's one of those cases where it's like Olympus is falling and White House is down.
Yeah.
Another same the exact same thing.
Same but different.
Same but different, and it's almost like an Apple iPhone thing.
Yes.
Or Apple Microsoft.
Samsung, yeah.
Samsung, whatever. It's like the same exact thing, but we're gonna just pick one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But there's a few that are really good, and
so if y'all have any more, like I know like that one specifically, but if you have any more Meteor movies, we'll potentially take another look at. Let us know which one you like the best if you've watched these.
What about you? Which one did you like the best?
Probably Don't Look Up.
Yeah,
I thought it was the funny. I like all those actors. Armageddon had its moments, and Greenland also did too. I think it was Greenland second, Armageddon third.
Yeah, I'd probably go. See, it's hard. I kind of have a real big love-hate relationship on Armageddon.
It's fine, yeah.
But they're all great. I don't know if I could pick a favorite.
So you're a fence sitter. You're looking up and down.
I'm looking up and down.
Okay.
I forgot Chris Evans was in that movie, by the way.
There was a point where in his career where he was just doing nothing but Marvel, so he could only do cameos and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like a free guy. There's a couple other things where he just like pops his head in. Hey, I'm Chris Evans.
Okay, I'll see you. Now give me my $1 million.
He walks away. The Captain America theme just blares behind him.
But yeah, those are the movies, guys. Let us know what you think down in the comments below, and
look out for those global warming movies.
Yeah, we'll have that one out next week. So we'll see you then.